What's up, agents? Here and welcome back to yet another Minecraft Pocket Edition Redstone video, and today we're going to be taking a look at what is known as a pulse lever. Now, the name is pretty much self-explanatory, but for those of you who require clarification, basically instead of giving a constant on-off output, a lever will actually end up giving out a redstone pulse just like a button. As you can see, if I go ahead and flick this lever, we turn the lever on, we get ourselves a pulse. We turn the lever off, we get ourselves a pulse again. Now, when you actually create a pulse lever, you do not actually have to set it up so it goes in both directions. You can also set it up so that it only turns on when the lever is flipped on. Oh, there's a little bit of a glitch there. Or you can do it whenever the lever is turned off. As you can see, nothing happens, but I flip it back off, we get ourselves a pulse, and just like that. Now, the actual setup of one of these is very simple, but before you actually set this up, you actually have to understand a few other circuits first. And I've already got my inventory full of items to go ahead and get that started. So the first thing we're going to build is actually what is known as a monostable circuit. A monostable circuit is something that creates a short pulse from any form of redstone input. So let's go ahead and go right here. I'm going to put a lever right here just for right now. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this dropper, place it here, crouch down, go ahead and place a hopper facing directly into it. If I go ahead and place a block right here, and then right here, I'm going to put down a redstone comparator. And then from here, we go ahead and put down our redstone lamp. And now we have one final thing we need to do. We need to go ahead and drop something into this. And there we go. This is known as the hopper dropper monostable circuit. So if we go ahead and power this on, the item will go from the dropper to the hopper, allowing the lamp to turn on, and then it will go back into the dropper, creating a pulse. Now, before we go ahead and show you guys the second item, I actually need a second circuit. I need to grab a sticky piston because, quite honestly, my hotbar is not actually large enough in order for me to have everything set up and ready to go. So anyway, so the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and put down our lever. Then we're going to put a block down here with a piece of redstone dust there. Then we're going ahead and take our sticky piston, put it up like this, put a block right here, and then we're going to go ahead and put a block like this with a repeater facing out, and then we're going to go ahead and put our redstone lamp right here. Now this is known as the Piston monostable circuit, and it's actually very simple. When I flick this lever, we get ourselves a redstone pulse, and we turn it off. Obviously nothing happens. Now what's going on is, first off, this redstone dust is powering this block, which is then powering the repeater and then going into the lamp. Now this redstone dust is also powering this block, which in turn also powers the piston. And pistons actually take a little bit more time to transfer to give a redstone output than just simply a piece of redstone dust. From what I understand, on PC, a piston actually takes 1.5 redstone ticks to extend. Now I do not know if the same is true on Pocket Edition, but it still makes sense that we have ourselves a delay before that piston even gets set off. So there we go. Now that's pretty much the two monostable circuits that you can build. However, you can probably go through YouTube and find more tutorials on monostable circuits. I mean, these are not the only two out there. These are actually just examples of what can be built. If you guys remember the first video that went on this channel, the piston powered cocoa bean farm, what we built underground to power the bomb piston was in fact a monostable circuit. And if I remember correctly, which there's a good chance I don't, I think I ended up using a piston monostable circuit. I honestly don't know. But anyway, now we're actually going to move on to our final circuit. Now, some people will call this a monostable circuit, some people won't. But it's actually an interesting design because you can actually customize how much of a pulse you want this circuit to give. So we're going to go ahead and put down a block here with a lever on the side right there. Then we're going to take a redstone torch, and then from here we're going to take ourselves a redstone repeater, and we're going to place it down like this. Set this to 2 ticks. We're going to take another block, another piece of another redstone torch. Then we're going to run redstone along like this. And there we go. We have ourselves our pulse generator. So if I go ahead and put our block here, if we flick this on, we are going to get ourselves a redstone pulse from the lamp it's on. Now, to explain what's going on, when we flick this lever off, it turns this torch off, which turns the redstone off, which allows this torch to turn back on. However, 1 tick later, this repeater will kick in and it will turn the torch back off, creating your pulse. Now, when you're building this, this does in fact have to be 2 ticks, because if you have it set to default power, it's not going to create the pulse. Now, what's actually interesting about this particular design, which I'm going to go ahead and show you guys right now, is that it's actually infinite. Well, I shouldn't say infinitely expandable. I mean, there are limitations within Redstone, but this is actually very customizable. No, I don't want to put that there. You can actually create a delay for as long as you want. You just gotta make sure you have the right materials. So if I go ahead and set it up like this, we set our redstone back up just like this. Now we have ourselves 4 repeaters set to max delay, and we have our redstone lamp. So if we go ahead and flick this lever, you're going to notice that the lamp stays on for a long time, and then the repeaters kick in and it forces the lamp back off. So this is probably one of the most versatile pulse extenders that you can actually build. However, there are a number of other different ways to create pulse extenders. However, this one happens to be the simplest, and it happens to be one of my favorites. Now, going back to the pulse lever, how do you actually create the pulse lever using these circuits that I just showed you right here? Well, it's actually very simple. I actually have an example already built right here. It's actually very simple to understand. We have our lever powering into this repeater, and it doesn't actually have to be a repeater, but it goes into a block. On one side, you have a redstone torch, which inverts the signal, and the other side, we have regular redstone dust. And then we have 2 of our pulse extender and our pulse limiter or monostable circuit set up so that as soon as there's a change in this lever's output, we will create our pulse. If we go ahead and turn this on, we have ourselves a short pulse, and because of the pulse extender we have over there, we can go ahead and get our longer pulse from turning it off. Now, just so you guys are aware, when I built this example, I used the hopper dropper monostable circuits, and it uses the exact same principle. It powers this block, which one side is off and the other side is on, and it's just simply a matter of whether or not you leave it normal or if you invert it whenever you create a pulse of one direction. As you can see, this one right here, this will create the pulse when it turns on, because it takes power directly from the lever and then converts into our pulse. However, this one back here uses an inverted torch, because in that way we get our pulse at the very end. I mean, not at the very end, whenever we turn the lever off. And that's actually all there is to the pulse lever. And like I said, using this particular method that I have here, you can actually create a pulse of whatever length you want. Now, this is actually going to be very useful in the near future, because if you guys are not aware, I have a series on my channel called Behind Locked Doors. I have a redstone puzzle map in progress, and one of the later levels of which I'm going to be building for you guys is actually going to end up using these pulse levers. And I figured, why not go ahead and share with you guys this circuit before I go ahead and showcase it on the other series. Because then that way I can just build it straight away and not have to explain to you guys what's going on in that episode. You guys already understand what is going on in this circuit. But anyway, that's going to have to do it for this redstone tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed. Now, actually, so one thing I do want to quickly mention is that everything that I showed you in this tutorial works on every version of Minecraft Pocket Edition every version of Minecraft there is. So even though this is a Minecraft Pocket Edition tutorial, if you're playing PC or playing a console version, this tutorial will work for you guys as well. Just figured I'd go ahead and lay that out there. But anyway, guys, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button. Also, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Thank you guys for watching, and with that, I will see you guys later.